Hi, I'm Ryan Jinks, and I am in Moab, Utah, where I just did a rope swing, and I got a few minutes, so I'd like to make another How Not to Invest video. And today I want to talk about whether or not owning a house is the right thing. I'm only going to talk about my journey. I can't say something for everyone. And so I have owned and I rented. And now I rent a room, and I actually really like it. And I'd like to tell you how I felt through all of the different stages I've been in. I saved about 20 grand between 18 and 21 years old, and I bought a condo, about 20 grand down. And I thought it was great owning a house when I was in my early 20s. I got to make it the way I wanted. There are benefits in owning a house, and landlord's not going to kick you out with a 30-day notice, and you have to find a place to live when it's quite inconvenient. There's a real nice thing about home ownership and the pride you get from making it the way you want, and you are building equity most of the time. I did lose the condo to a short sale, and I did make money on the last house that I owned, but it's not always a guarantee that you're going to make money. But instead of paying the money you'd pay in rent to a landlord, you could pay it to a bank and actually get some of your principal paid off. Now, how much does it cost to own a house? Now, there is an equation called the 5% rule where you can decide whether or not it's economical to own a house. But there is just the general concept that it costs money to own a home, and repairs and maintenance, and not just repairs and maintenance. I'm in the construction industry. I am a painting contractor. People spend more money than they need to on a house more oftentimes than not, which is fine. It's their home, they can do that. But you have to take it in consideration that you are spending quite a bit more than if you were just renting. Now, I was renting a duplex from someone, and it was somebody just rope swinged. I could hear him screaming. Now, when I was renting a duplex, I like things nice. I kind of am a perfectionist, kind of a control freak, but if it wasn't mine, wasn't my fence, I didn't look at it quite the same way. I had my van I made nice, and I had my car, and I had my business and stuff. I had things that I liked making nice, but since the fence wasn't mine or the faucet wasn't mine, I wasn't as worried about it. Things were functional, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go get the nicest toilet from Lowe's. The toilet I had was fine. Now you can see on my How Not to Highline YouTube channel a lot of brake tests that we did in the backyard and in the garage. You can see quite a bit of the house through the different videos on there. But I made it nice, and I liked making it nice, and I spent probably 30 to 50 grand on the house over, 5 years. And if I was renting, I would not have. And that is one of the major costs. Now we can sit here and debate all day long about the actual numbers and details on what's more profitable, but it's not just the numbers. Some people like own a home because they really want to own a home. Maybe they've had bad experiences renting, and maybe they like fixing up their house. Maybe that's something they really enjoy doing, as just like I enjoy being out here as a thing. But in my case, I have found that I really, really enjoy renting not just a house, but a room. Because I am traveling so much now, it is so nice to just rent a room and not care about the rest of the house. I didn't have to fix the tub when it clogged. That was super nice. Somebody else took care of that. I'm not used to that. It was just when there was a windstorm, kind of like I'm having right now, there was shingles blowing off the roof, and I was not my roof. It's just super, super nice to not own so many things, because it takes maintenance. The YouTube channel takes maintenance, my car takes maintenance, my portfolio that I invest with takes maintenance, my painting business takes maintenance. Just having a little bit less in my life, pretty nice. I know it's the American dream to own a home, and I think that's still a very valid, rewarding, prideful thing you can really enjoy in life. But I don't have, I found a home for my cats that I had, and I didn't want the responsibility of owning a house. Houses are really high right now. I expect them to drop. They may not, but I do expect them to go down. And in 2 years, when I may or may not want to live in Lodi, California anymore, then I will not want to be stuck in that house because the value of it dropped 100 grand. That would suck. Since I didn't need the luxury of having an entire house, then I didn't want to tie up about $400,000 into my house, because that's a lot of freaking money. And I could invest that in all these other things that I could make, at least 7%, and on average. Things might go down, but on average, 7%, 12%, 15%, or crypto that on average goes up 225% a year. I don't know how sustainable that is. But nonetheless, I can put it in other things that will appreciate. A house, sometimes if people are not naturally good at saving money, sometimes putting an extra payment on a house, which I don't recommend it. We can make that another video. But I have my friend here, he has a house and he pays it off as fast as he can. And that's his way of saving, because if he has money in the bank, he'll spend it. That's how some people work, and that's totally fine. You have to do what is best for you and your personality and the way you think. Now, we are technically having a housing crisis, and rent is going crazy high because there's a shortage of housing. But being able to rent a room, I'm only paying $500 a month, and even if I was paying $800 a month, it's still palatable. It allows me to utilize the money that I had tied up in my house to invest, and it keeps my expenses down, because I like to keep my house and car expense as low as possible, or what I would call almost my committed expenses that I have to pay every month, as low as possible. And then I try to keep all the expenses on the discretionary side. So if things got tight, I can just clam up for a while, and then when they get better, spend the discretionary stuff again. Food, I eat pretty cheap just because I can. I don't really care that much about food. But I definitely spend a bunch of money on gear and travel. I'm constantly spending money going to different places. But if I had a wife and kids and a dog and and my family was nearby, sure, I would probably want to own a house if I was kind of staying put in one area and going to live somewhere for 10 years. It'd be nice to get basically cheap money. If you can get a house loan for 3.5%, 4%, that's pretty good. The whole value of the house should appreciate at least by that much. So whatever, you only put 25% down, you're actually technically gaining appreciation if you hold it long term. But in my case, I'm not going to hold that house long term. I have other plans I'm hoping work out for me. And so I don't want to live in Lodi, California forever. And that is why I decided to sell it. Could I make it into a rental? I had a rental. I don't want rentals. Rentals is not very slack life. I like to have less responsibility, and I can make, at least I believe, just as much money in stocks and crypto as I could owning an actual piece of rental property. I do hold some syndications. We got a video on that, and those are doing super good enough. They pay 8% on the money I've got tied up, and supposedly we get more if they sell the building higher in a few years. But my money is tied up with them. It's not very liquid, and so I only do a little bit on those syndications. So I still got my fingers dabbled in real estate from a diversification standpoint, but less responsibility is the theme in my life as I start a new YouTube channel, which adds more to my plate. It is my goal here on the channel to help people navigate through all the noise on the internet about finances. We are going to break test, like we do on the other channel, some financial advice, and we're going to use real money and real dollars and do some financial experiments as a retail investor to see if everything works out the way people say it does online. I want to inspire people to save money and incrementally move forward in life financially. Just because if you feel like you're going to achieve financial freedom, even if you don't have it yet, then it's a good feeling. Going backwards every month is not a good feeling. And it's important to have the financial freedom to live your best life. And for me, that is, well, in this case, rope swinging today and doing adventures. So I want to have the freedom to do that. Why do you want financial freedom? You must ask yourself that. You must have a good answer, and you must not wait until you have financial freedom to start living that life. You can do a little bit now and then grow more of it. And that's kind of what I've done. I used to picking numbers here, 30% slack life, 70% adulting or painting, and now I do 90% slack life, 10% painting. I still haven't fully gone 100% slack life. Eventually, as I continue to invest and build these channels up, and hopefully our Pushing the Line show on Discovery Plus takes off, all those things could help me become more financially free. And then I could stop painting altogether, which is the goal. Please leave a comment below. It really helps as a new channel for the algorithm, and I also like to get a vibe on what you're looking for. If I say things wrong, I learn as much from the audience as the audience may or may not learn from me. I'm doing this channel more as to engage with a community of people who think about financial freedom, and not because I'm some expert on anything. None of this is financial advice. This is more of me just sharing my story, and hopefully I can hear some more of your guys' stories, and we can maybe get some other people on this channel who have different points of view from me, and kind of get a more balanced approach to all these decisions we do have to make in life. And I do want to insert this into this video. If you're renting intentionally to save more money so you can invest versus owning a house which you're paying off, either way you're moving forward. I don't see either one being a bad decision. It's whatever works best for you, and you might end up a little bit further ahead if you picked one over the other based on certain math, what the interest rates are, how houses are, if you buy at the dip or the height. So don't over leverage and you'll be fine. Thank you for making it to the end. Please subscribe. I need 1,000 subscribers before this channel will let me do literally anything. So really appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll try to put these out as often as possible. Thank you. Bye.